Okay, so I feel like 2023 has been the year of amazing drugstore launches. I'm pretty sure I said that last year, but 2023 has been off to such a good start so far. We're not quite halfway through the year, but every year I always like to film like a mid-year favorites and then also a worst of. So stay tuned for that video because there were definitely some major fails. But I thought for this year's video, I would just focus on drugstore makeup because even as I was sitting down, like thinking through all of my favorites, pretty much all of them were drugstore related. I actually just saw that Taylor Marker just filmed this video, which kind of got me thinking about my favorites. If you're not subscribed to Taylor's channel, you guys will love her. I'll link her channel in the description box below. She also has an Instagram and a TikTok, but she focuses on drugstore makeup and skincare. I've seen her talk about sunscreen and body products. She has so many good recommendations. I love her so much. So I think you guys will too. So I'll link her below, but let's jump into it and I'll share like the top drugstore launches of the year so far. It makes me excited to see what else the brands have in store for the rest of 2023 because these have already been so good. Let's start with this product. I've actually been wearing this quite a bit lately because I do find that it is fairly long lasting. So it's really nice to apply this because even after a few hours, I feel like I still have color in place and it's also very, very hydrating. This is the NYX Fat Oil Lip Drip. I do feel like the name is kind of weird. I still don't understand why they named it that. I think it's because the applicator is a little bit bigger. I've heard a lot of people say this applicator is very similar to the Dior lip oil, and I've heard some people say the formula is similar. I actually haven't tried that one, so I can't say for sure, but I will say this is a really nice, long-lasting formula. They do market it as a lip oil, and honestly, I find the formula to be maybe more similar to a lip gloss. But either way, I don't find it to be sticky, but I feel like there is still longevity to it. It's very glossy, super shiny. It gives your lips like that wet look. These are definitely more sheer than they look in the tube, so that's why I went with two darker shades because I had seen swatches online, but I kind of also want to pick up like a bright pink. I feel like that would be perfect for summer. I'm just trying not to buy too many lip products this summer. So I'm enjoying these two. I have Status Update and then also That's Chic. I think these are an amazing option. I also love the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Glosses. This formula really is so good. I feel like I could wear this formula every single day. It's funny because I've said this before, but the NYX product is kind of marketed as a lip oil, and to me that feels more like a lip gloss. Whereas this is actually marketed as a lip gloss, then I feel like it kind of feels more like a lip oil. So if you do like that very thin, kind of oily feeling gloss, I think you'll like this formula. They feel somewhat similar to like the Milani Fruit Fetish lip oils, but maybe slightly more glossy, just for comparison if you've tried those. But they smell good. I think they have a few different scents, like coconut. I think there's a berry one, also like a maybe a pineapple one, and they just look pretty. Very glossy, super juicy. These are definitely sheer too. They're more sheer than the NYX formula, so again, I feel like they just kind of remind me more of a true lip oil, but they're really pretty, so nice to wear. I always throw these in my bag when I'm leaving the house. I think this will be like the perfect option for spring and summer if you don't want anything too heavy or too intense. I'm not even trying to be dramatic when I say I was shocked by this CoverGirl launch, and I think it's because in my mind, I associate CoverGirl eyeshadows with like a very chalky feel. My first eyeshadow quad ever was from CoverGirl when I was like 13 years old. And I remember just taking like the little eyeshadow applicator and taking the pink and just like swiping it all over my eye. Obviously, that was a long time ago, so it's natural that a brand would improve their eyeshadow formula since then. But I don't know that I've really tried CoverGirl eyeshadows since those days. And I mean, I used their eyeshadows in college, but again, a long time ago. So when I picked these up, I honestly did not have high hopes for them, but I thought I would try them out because I thought they looked pretty and they're gorgeous. I like these more than I did when I initially tried them. I reach for them all the time. So today I have the Dreamy Pink Quad on my eyes. I have this color in the crease, a little bit of this just to kind of blend out the edges, this all over the lid, and then one shadow from Shimmering Beige on the lid as well. Just a small amount of this gold to kind of intensify it, but these shadows look amazing. They're very smooth on the eyes. Honestly, I feel like they look the same as when I use like a high-end eyeshadow palette, and I just think they're very easy. The matte shadows are very creamy. They're a little bit powdery, but I use them with this eyeshadow primer, which is another one of my favorite drugstore launches. This is the Essence Prime Like a Boss eyeshadow base. This is a very creamy base. It's pretty thin, so I feel like it initially applies like the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but it definitely creates like a creamy smooth base. So when you're using maybe a little bit more of a dry shadow or a powdery shadow, it just makes everything look super smooth and even. So that does help, but even without this product, these eyeshadow quads are really beautiful and I'm impressed by them. They're definitely one of my favorite drugstore formulas. I also tried these eyeshadow quads from LA Girl, and these are amazing. Now, I've always been a fan of LA Girl's eyeshadow formula, but I do think their formula varies a little bit, like palette to palette. Like their smaller palettes perform differently than their larger palettes, and their formula doesn't seem to be as consistent throughout, but in general, it is pretty impressive to me, especially because it is such an affordable brand. But these are the 4-play eyeshadow palettes. So there are two that I love. This one is Seduce. It just comes with 4 really beautiful neutral eyeshadows. You get 2 shimmers, 2 matte shadows. Generally, when I use this, I do get a little bit more of a dramatic look. There's like a deep brown in here that almost looks black. Actually, I have a video where I use this on camera. I've used pretty much all of these products on camera multiple times, so I'll link some of my related videos below. But when I first used that shadow, I was like, ooh, I'm kind of nervous that this isn't going to blend out very easily, but it really does blend out in seconds. It's such an effortless formula. And then because I loved that one so much, I actually ended up picking up this one. This one is the Feel Good Quad. I have a few like loose pans in here, so I need to glue them back in, but I love this. If you love pink eyeshadow, this is such a great option because you can definitely get a complete look out of this. There's like a lighter, softer shimmery shadow, and then a little bit of like a medium toned raspberry. So you can do something just a little bit more natural or more dramatic, but these just feel very buttery, very, very creamy. I've talked about this product a lot so far, but honestly, I did not expect to like it as much as I do, and it's become my #1 primer. Like when I want my makeup to last all day long, this is what I use. And when I don't use it, I see a visible difference. Like my makeup just does not look good by the end of the day. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, but it's the one that has 4% niacinamide. The original Power Grip Primer is great, but this one is better. There's definitely a difference between the two. And the first few times I used it, I was like, I don't know if there's a difference. Like I see a subtle difference, but now that it's been months at this point, there is a difference to me. This one makes your skin look a little bit extra glowy, a little more smooth. Obviously, it has the benefits of niacinamide, but I wouldn't say that I see those long-term benefits just from using this product. I do have niacinamide in my skincare routine that I use sometimes as well, but I think the way my makeup wears on top of this product compared to the original one is just a little bit different. If I were to wear this on one side and then wear the original on one side, my skin would feel hydrated and the makeup would last long, but the side where I'm using this one would just look better. Like my skin would look extra smooth. And again, there would be a glow that's not there when I use the original. So I love this product. I mean, I've used up at least half of it. Once I run out, I'll continue to finish the original one, but then I'll go back to this. This is like my #1 primer of all time. It's so good. Another complexion favorite that I think is just so good is this product from Milani. It's the Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Powder. This looks amazing on the skin. It is such a lightweight powder. It is so finely milled. It doesn't look like you're wearing anything on the skin, but it definitely gives your skin like this extra smooth, incredibly soft focus effect. Like it really does look like you have a filter on your skin in real life. And I know a lot of products claim that, but this actually does that. The only con for me is that it is a little bit orangey. Like if you have a lighter skin tone, probably close to mine or even lighter than mine, it probably will look a little bit orangey on you. I've seen some reviews with people who have darker skin tones than me say the same thing. So it just kind of depends. I feel like they need to release like a true translucent, and then obviously a deeper one would be nice too, just to have like a range of shades. Honestly, I just kind of deal with like a little bit of oranginess because I think it is such a good powder. Typically, I'll wear this if my foundation is a little bit too light, which does happen because I feel like I'm always buying the wrong shade of foundation. So if my foundation's too light or my concealer's too light and I use this powder, it almost evens it out. But it is such a good powder. It's gorgeous. I haven't tried anything quite like this. I have another product from Milani that I actually didn't like when I first tried it, but I liked it the more that time went on. So this is the Milani Highly Rated Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara. My favorite mascara like of all time is the Milani Highly Rated Anti-Gravity Mascara. And I think because I tried that one, I had such high hopes for this one initially because it's also from the highly rated line, but this one is supposed to give you like a really lengthened look, and it is a tubing mascara. Okay, when I first tried this, I just wasn't a fan, and I still don't necessarily love using this one on its own. although I do sometimes. I mainly like using it on top of pretty much any other mascara because it definitely adds a lot of length to my lashes. Like if I use a volumizing mascara and then touch it up with this one just on the ends, my lashes instantly look so much longer. Also, this is a tubing mascara, so I feel like it does stay in place all day long without flaking or smudging or running. So if you use a little bit of this on top of, again, pretty much any other mascara, it does lock it into place so well. And I'll also use this on my bottom lashes because I do have watery eyes. So I feel like, again, it just stays in place so well. And it does grab onto each lash really nicely. When I first tried this, it was just such a wet, messy formula. So I feel like it takes almost like 4 to 6 weeks for it to dry out a little bit. And that's when I really started loving it. There are days when I'll wear this on its own because it just removes so easily and it takes like 2 seconds to have really dramatic lashes. The only issue is that you can go from like, nicely lengthened to incredibly over dramatic, like very, very quickly. So it is something you have to be careful with, but I do recommend using it if you like to layer mascaras because it really just takes pretty much any mascara to the next level. So I use this almost like every single time I do my makeup, just a little bit of it on top of whatever I'm using or on the bottom lashes. Another mascara launch that I think is really, really good is this one from Flower Beauty. It's the Dream Warrior Volumizing Mascara. Actually, I love combining these two. I'll wear this one on its own because it definitely gives a lot of volume, a lot of drama. But if I top it with a little bit of the Milani one, it's like the perfect combo. So I am wearing these two on my lashes combined today in case you're curious what they look like, but I think they do a really great job. They're nice on their own. I definitely prefer the Flower Beauty one on its own more because you do get that drama and that volume. And I feel like it does stay in place well. It lifts and separates the lashes. Like all around, it's a really good mascara. But I don't wear the Milani one on its own quite as much. But I will if I do want just length and easy removal. Flower Beauty also launched the most gorgeous concealer. And I was kind of late to the game on this one. I just wasn't really in the market for like a ton of complexion products. I generally don't buy quite as many complexion products as I do like cheek products and lip products and maybe even eye products. But I saw a ton of people raving about this. So I finally picked it up. I got a few shades and I feel like vanilla is the shade that works best for me. But this is the Get Real Serum Concealer. I'm wearing this today. Honestly, I've worn it like pretty much every single time I've done my makeup since I purchased it, which was maybe, I want to say like end of March, beginning of April. This outperforms so many of my high-end concealers. I like this because it's creamy. It's very, very smoothing. It's also hydrating, but it doesn't crease on me like a lot of other hydrating concealers. If you have fine lines under your eyes, there's pretty much no stopping a concealer from creasing. So I think that, is something that should be noted. But I noticed that when I apply this and I blend it out, it actually stays in place really well. Like sometimes if I use a concealer, I have to go in and set it immediately with powder or I'll have like instant creasing. But there is time between blending this out and having to set it. And I feel like that is a good indication of like how it wears throughout the day. Like it doesn't settle into my fine lines quite as bad as other formulas. It feels very hydrating. It looks very smooth and I just love it. I think they launched a foundation. Let me Google it. For some reason, I thought they launched a new foundation this year as well, but they already had the Get Real Serum Foundation, which I've never tried. So at this point, I feel like maybe I should try that. If you've tried that foundation and this concealer, are the formulas similar? Because I think when I hear the word serum, I automatically think it's going to be like incredibly runny, and that's not the case with this one. So don't let the name throw you off. The formula is gorgeous. If you're looking for more of like a true matte concealer, I do recommend the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer. I tried this at like the very beginning of the year and I love it. I know a lot of people didn't love the IRL Filter Foundation, which I do like, but I feel like the concealer's a little bit different. The foundation is like very full coverage, intensely full coverage, and I do think it has like a true matte finish, but this one feels a little bit creamier. Like it's definitely not quite as matte as the foundation, but it does dry down to a soft matte finish. It's very lightweight. It feels really good. Like the way they describe this formula is breathable, long wearing. I don't typically associate breathable with like full coverage or long wearing, but it really is like a true breathable formula. It feels very light on the skin. Okay, let's talk about cheek products. So without a doubt, one of my favorite launches, like if I had to even narrow this down to like my top 3 launches, I don't know what they would be, but I know that these would be in the top 3. These are the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes. I think these are so gorgeous. These really do feel like high-end blushes, in my opinion. The packaging doesn't feel like a high-end blush, but the actual formula does, and I can't stop wearing these. They're great on their own. They're also so nice over liquid blush. If you're someone who likes to set your liquid blush into place with a powder blush, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but this layers so nicely on top of liquid blush because it's a very light formula, really soft, super natural, but it just gives your skin like this gorgeous natural glow. I just feel so passionately about these because I think they're like $6. And honestly, after trying these, like I haven't really reached for a lot of my high-end blushes since discovering these. I think they're somewhat similar to like the Milani baked blushes or the Hourglass blushes. Like they have that baked texture to them, but I think they look more natural on the skin because they're so lightweight and they don't really have like noticeable glitter. Some of them do have shimmer in them, but I feel like on the cheeks, you don't really see that. So I think they're beautiful if you're just looking for a really pretty soft baked powder blush. I actually don't have a highlighter to share with you. The only new highlighter I think I tried this year was from Rare Beauty, and that is like my #1 highlighter of the year so far, but obviously that is a high-end formula. But I do have 2 bronzers, actually a contour and a bronzer. So these are the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzers. Honestly, I think that these are so pretty on the skin. If you like a glowy bronzer, but not like a full-on shimmery or glittery bronzer, this is a really nice formula to go with. It has like this beautiful dewy texture to it that just looks so natural on the skin. It's just a really nice formula. I do prefer the Luminous formula to like the original matte formula because I think it looks a little bit more natural on the skin. Like it's very soft, very glowy. It's just gorgeous. I also love this product from Flower Beauty. I feel like this got mixed reviews, which honestly surprises me because I think it's one of the best products that comes in like this squeeze tube packaging with like a little sponge on the end. This is the Flower Beauty Lowlight Liquid Contour. So when I tried the liquid highlighters last year, I actually thought they were identical to Charlotte Tilbury's highlighters. I tried them right around the same time, or actually, I think I tried the Flower Beauty formula first, and then I tried Charlotte Tilbury afterwards, and I still prefer Flower Beauty. I almost said Charlotte Tilbury. Charlotte Tilbury's formula is really nice, but it's expensive, and I feel like out of all of the wands that I've tried, like Milani, Flower Beauty, e.l.f., Flower Beauty definitely comes the closest. Some people say the liquid contour dries down too fast and you don't have enough time to work with it. It looks patchy. That has never been an issue for me. It's always looked incredibly smooth, and it does dry down fast, but not extremely fast. Like I have time to blend it out. I'm wearing it today. It just blends in perfectly, in my opinion. It looks so good on the skin. So I'm still waiting. I hope in like the second half of 2023, we see liquid blushes from Flower Beauty. They do have liquid blushes, but I want to see like liquid blushes in this packaging with like a glow to it. Last Flower Beauty product. Flower Beauty launched so many good products this year. I picked up their Plump Up Gloss Sticks because originally I thought they could be, I keep dropping them. Originally I thought they could be a good dupe to the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips, but they're definitely different. Tarte's formula is thicker. It's more of like a true gloss stick, whereas these feel like a glossy balm. They're very lightweight, really thin. Today I'm wearing the shade Toasty. I've had this on for a while. I've been talking a lot, but I love this formula because it's really thin. It's definitely not the same as Tarte, but I feel like it's a good alternative. If you find the Tarte formula is like too thick, too glossy for you, and you want something a little bit softer, this is a really good option. They have beautiful shades. I have a light pink, a red, and then also a nude. And the last product is a lipstick formula. This is from e.l.f. This is the O Face Satin Lipstick. I have a few of my favorite shades that I'll swatch for you. These are really good. Honestly, it does feel like a high-end formula. These are $9. And I remember when they first launched these, a lot of people were like, what are they thinking with that $9 price tag? Because that is a lot more expensive than some of their previous lip products. And e.l.f.'s prices have gone up, but I feel like the quality has also increased so much. You guys, I've been such an e.l.f. fan for years. Like I think I have videos on my channel from like, I don't even know. I want to say like 2013 doing like massive e.l.f. hauls because I used to review like every single e.l.f. launch as it came out. Anyway, I feel like it's just been cool to see them evolve. And I feel like naturally with that, we're going to see price increases. But for me, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for higher quality products. Not to say their products in the past were bad by any means, but I do feel like this formula is significantly better than other lipstick formulas I've tried from them. Maybe more of like a $7 price tag I feel like would be nicer to see, but these do feel very, very like the formula feels expensive. Anyway, I'll swatch a few of my favorite shades for you, but I feel like when you actually wear this product, you'll know what I mean. Like, it's very creamy, so smooth, really, really long wearing. And I just enjoy these a lot. And I feel like that's different for me because typically I do reach for like a lip gloss or a lip oil. So for me to constantly reach for an actual lipstick, that just kind of says something to me personally that I really do think it is a good formula. So I love these. I think they're amazing if you do like more of like a traditional cream lipstick formula. Okay, that's everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. All of the best drugstore launches of 2023 so far. There have been so many good products. I'm just honestly excited to see what else is going to be released in 2023. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. I'm going to film a video on the worst launches of the year so far. So that should be up soon. But let me know, what was your favorite drugstore makeup product of the year? I would love to check it out if I haven't already. Maybe I can do a video testing your favorites. So let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.